August 17, 1944, northern France. The fields were littered with wrecks and the distant hum of retreating engines. Amid the smoke and dust, a German supply convoy stumbled upon something they didn't expect. An intact American GMC CCKW 6x6 truck abandoned near the ruins of a village. Corporal Otto Reinhardt, age 34, a Wehrmacht mechanic with oil-stained hands and a cigarette clenched between his teeth, climbed down from his battered Opel Blitz. "Looks American," he muttered, brushing the mud from the truck's olive-green hood. Beside him, Sergeant Karl Meissner, 41, the division's senior mechanic, adjusted his cap and whistled. "They just left it here." Otto nodded, prying open the cab door. Inside, everything was still clean, sturdy seats, simple levers, tools neatly clipped in place. The smell of oil and new metal hit them. They pushed the truck back to their small repair depot, a barn half destroyed by artillery fire. Under the flicker of a single hanging lamp, the German mechanics circled the captured GMC like surgeons before an operation. Karl ran his hand across the steering column. "Everything fits perfectly, even after battle damage," Otto replied. "If this were ours, it would have needed 3 spare parts and a prayer." They began to strip the front panel, murmuring in disbelief. The Americans had built this machine for soldiers, not engineers, straightforward, durable, easy to repair in the field. Karl stared into the exposed engine, silent for a long moment. "They built millions of these, didn't they?" Otto nodded again, slowly. "Ja, and we can barely keep our own trucks running." Outside, the sound of distant Allied artillery echoed closer. Inside that dim barn, surrounded by wrenches and fear, 2 Wehrmacht mechanics began to realize something no German wanted to admit, that Germany's war machine might not be the strongest after all. 2 days later, same barn, northern France. Rain tapped the tin roof as Otto Reinhardt and Sergeant Karl Meissner worked by lantern light. The American GMC truck sat in the center, stripped open like a patient on an operating table. Its heart, the engine, gleamed with precision. Karl leaned over it, shaking his head. "Look at this, simple bolts, no special tools. Even a farmhand could repair it." Otto replied quietly, "That's the point. Every soldier can." They compared it to their own Opel Blitz, tangled cables, fragile fittings, constant breakdowns. German engineering had chased perfection. The Americans had built practicality. Private Franz Keller, a 19-year-old apprentice, entered holding a dented gearbox from a German truck. "This one failed again," he muttered. Karl pointed to the GMC's transmission, still smooth, still turning. "This one won't. It's built like a hammer, strong and replaceable." Outside, the muffled roar of Allied planes rolled across the sky. Otto paused, listening. "They can move faster because they don't wait for repairs," he said. Karl exhaled, wiping grease from his hands. "They win wars by moving, not by polishing machines." The more they studied, the more unsettling it became. The GMC's modular parts, interchangeable with thousands of others, revealed the secret behind American power: mass production. Factories that never slept. Men and women building thousands of identical trucks while Germany struggled for steel and fuel. Karl stared at the stamped serial numbers, each one crisp and identical. "This truck isn't special," he said softly. "It's one of millions." Otto looked at him, eyes darkening. "And that's exactly why we're finished." A cold wind pushed through the broken wall of the barn. The lantern flickered. For the first time, these proud Wehrmacht mechanics, men who once believed in German superiority, saw the truth laid bare in steel and oil. The war wasn't going to be lost on the battlefield. It was already lost in the factories. August 21st, 1944, northern France. The front was collapsing. All morning, distant explosions echoed through the valley as the Wehrmacht withdrew toward the east. The barn smelled of smoke and diesel. The once proud mechanics depot was now half empty. Crates burned for warmth, papers scattered across the floor. Corporal Otto Reinhardt sat on a wooden crate, staring at the captured GMC truck, still running quietly after days of testing. Its steady hum was almost mocking. Sergeant Karl Meissner walked in, his uniform torn, face lined with exhaustion. Command says we leave it. No fuel for recovery. Otto didn't answer. He just watched the truck's idling engine, perfectly smooth, unaffected by the chaos around it. Carl sighed. We build masterpieces that break after a week, and they build this cheap, simple, endless. He kicked at the dirt. You know, I used to laugh at their machines. Said they were crude. Otto looked up slowly. Crude wins wars, Carl. Ours just look pretty losing them. For a moment, neither man spoke. Outside, the sky glowed orange. Allied artillery lighting the horizon. Carl turned back to the truck one last time. They can lose 10 of these and build 50 more. We lose one, and we pray for spare parts. Otto nodded. Factories decide wars now, not courage. He reached out, shut off the engine. The silence that followed was heavier than any explosion. They packed their tools and joined the retreat. Behind them, the captured GMC sat in the darkness, a quiet monument to industrial power and inevitability. By the time they reached the main road, Otto glanced back once more. The Americans, he murmured, they built the future. We're still trying to perfect the past. The rain began again, mixing with the distant thunder of tanks. For the first time, both men understood what no propaganda could hide anymore. Germany's defeat wasn't a matter of bravery or will. It was already written in steel, factories, and endless convoys of trucks just like that one.